Hi everyone, hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Hope you had a really good weekend. Hope you have a really good week. Just going to dive into Vechain, VETUSD. So once again, thank you for your continued support. Really do appreciate everything you do to contribute towards growth of CoinsKid here. Sharing is caring. I really appreciate all the sharing of the videos, the likes, everything that you do to contribute to the channel. Thank you very much. And if you're not a member of the Telegram group, do head over to there and get involved. There's a great budding community of crypto technical analysis and people dropping little gems in there all the time. So it's golden. It's really good. Thank you to everyone that's in there, and especially the admin team as well. And most importantly, thank you to all the patrons that are helping me in this. So it's great. It's brilliant. Thank you very much. So VET, I'm not going to lie to you, it's still breaking down. It's still. I know we've had a bit of an upside today, but you are still in a 4-hourly downtrend. You're under the 55 EMA. Like I said to you, you do need to get back above that and start approaching this level of resistance now, because that will see that pump. But personally, I do think we're still in this A-wave correction of this Elliott wave theory right here. If we can get this pick up here, okay, because I've got a nice candle today. If I look on the daily in a moment, you can see it's had a really nice pick up. And if we can now march on and get through this 55, I do believe that will be the B wave, because what we've come up, obviously, as you know, in Elliott wave theory, we've topped out and we're starting to correct, and we're starting to correct like this. Okay, we're coming down, we've bottomed out basically down here, and now we're starting to form this potentially B wave where we start to creep up, back test all these levels of resistance as support, march up and potentially make this high here once we break this key level of resistance. But from there, I do suspect that we will start to come back down again. I've not got a crystal ball, but it's just something, you know, that we're seeing this ABC correction, basically a consolidation event. Come back down and potentially come back down to a lower low, which could be this one, okay, in that C wave, and that will be the ABC correction done, completed, over for the next leg up on the wave 5 there of the Elliott wave theory. So what I'll do, I'll just quickly jump onto the weekly here for Vechain and just have a look. Okay, so we jump on this particular chart for the weekly. This is what we're targeting. If you're not familiar with what we're targeting, okay, this is Elliott wave theory, and we believe that you come up in one wave, corrective wave 2, third wave, because that's a really massive wave. Look at that. And then we're going through a fourth wave correction right now. And inside that wave that comes down and corrects, usually it's a relatively deep correction, but not necessarily as deep as this, but it can be relatively deep, okay? And inside there, you have something called an ABC correction. So potentially you could look at it like this. This big red candle was A. Now you're starting to form B. You go up, you'll top out, you'll roll over, you'll form C, where you come back down and potentially touch in the 20 EMA there on the weekly time frame. Because I do believe that Vechain's looking for that. I believe that it's slowing up now, and it's waiting for this particular line, this level, to come back up and get the retest off it, basically. I don't think it necessarily, this is what I mean when it's not necessarily going to roll over and crash and come back down to this level. This is what happens with it. It consolidates and goes sideways until it allows this to creep up and get the touch off it, retouch base, confirm that support, you know, just like it did here, where it went up, it rolled over, started to form this A wave. Do you see that? So you got your A wave down, you had a little bounce for the B wave, and then your C wave down to the bottom, and from there you start to pick up and form this third wave. Potentially that's what you're looking at for Vechain, but in a shorter time span, because we are in the bull market. So basically it's gone up, it's correcting, it's going to have a little bounce and then come back down. Hopefully at that time get some level of consolidation before this EMA creeps up and back test it, just like it did here. In this particular instance, this actually fell through the 20 EMA and got a level of support for 55. So that may even happen at some point later down the line for Vechain, but I don't anticipate it bouncing here and going to the moon straight away. I could be wrong, but it's just what I'm anticipating, okay? It doesn't mean that what I say is financial advice or fact. It's just something, I'm just saying what I see, okay, basically, for education and entertainment purposes. So right now you can see Vechain is hitting a bit of a brick wall at the moment. It's come down, obviously. I'll get rid of this. It's come down, but it didn't fall as low as this. So you're still making these high lows, which is good, okay? This is actually really good that you're still making these high lows. Do you see that? You're conforming to some kind of uptrend there, and you're not actually falling below these lows. So that's good in itself, because if you continue to do that, you're going to put pressure on getting through these EMAs and potentially making that B wave that they're anticipating, getting through this level of resistance. You've seen a nice little pump for Vechain before it does sort of get rejected, roll over, forming that C wave. So this is all really, really tradable. Like I said to you, if you do see Vechain breaking 0.2382720, then look at that long opportunity up there of that target of roughly 28% before it kind of gets rejected, rolls back over, and then potentially forming that C wave. So that's basically Vechain in a nutshell. It's a bit flat, bit boring, consolidation basically. At least it's not doing this where it's just going rolled over and it's going to zero. Okay, it's just showing really good strong levels of support, back testing them as well. Okay, one particular EMA that you can bring up, and I don't talk about it too much, is a 200. Okay, if you bring up a 200, that is also a really good level of support when everything starts to correct. I do mean to keep bringing that in, but I always forget to show you that. So the 200 on the 4 hourly time frame is a really key level of support, and you can see just there yesterday it actually got the bounce off it, so that's good because it's conforming to an uptrend still. Do you see that? The wick down, and look at that wick as well. That's a very bullish wick because that's where the bull step in, just like here when it went down the bull stepped in. Okay, it's really bullish still, but it's just consolidating and back testing support. So yeah, the 200 EMA on the 4 hourly time frame is a really good level. If you do start seeing it come down, do anticipate a bounce off there in this little uptrend that it's got going on for itself, because you can see at the minute it is kind of come up there and it's got rejected off this level. And obviously the 4 hourly 55 EMA, you do need to see it get back through it like this. Look, get back through it, back test it as support, march on and attack that for that nice little pump to that level before I would expect us to roll over. So that's basically Vechain. And again, if it does start to correct anymore, do anticipate a little short from this opportunity here. If it does start to roll over and you see it reject, do look at a little bid, put some cheeky little bids on this particular line. And obviously this moves up. This is a 200 EMA. Okay, it's an exponential moving average. It's 200 EMA, and look at, you can see it's acting as a really key level of support. So if Vechain was to come down, you know, start to roll over, I'll put some cheeky bids on that, because at the moment you can see it's acting as a key level of support, and you get that bounce again. This is where you can trade in and out of these little consolidation events for Vechain. So yeah, that's basically it. And again, obviously if we do experience a larger correction, but Bitcoin got that bounce, we were anticipating that bounce from that EMA, extended EMA, so that's come. But again, you know, Bitcoin could roll over again. It's the way the market is, you know how it is. So it's a very indecisive market at the moment. It's testing key levels of support, holding, which is good, because if Bitcoin had lost a key level of support yesterday, the 100 EMA on the daily time frame, wow, you would have been looking at a major correction there for Bitcoin, which would have dragged the entire market down with it. Obviously, you would have been looking at lower end of 40k for Bitcoin, but the bull stepped in and saved it. So far, so good. We need to cling on to that, the fact that Bitcoin is being saved, and it's boltering the market up a little bit as well. So we're not in a bear market, we're in a bull market. We're just back testing levels of support. And that's basically Vechain. Stay strong, stay safe. Most importantly, stay tuned. I'll be back tomorrow with another update on Vechain. Bye-bye.